The worst advice you ever took was this: quiet that little voice inside your head. The one that says you're not good enough, you screwed up, you're a failure, you're behind. Silence it. But that voice is usually right. It's 3 a.m. and you're not asleep. You're reliving a conversation from 6 years ago, maybe. You know it's pointless, and yet you do it anyway. You're not tired from today. You're tired from the trial, where you're the defendant, the prosecutor, and the judge. And you lose every single time because you've been trying to fix the wrong thing for years now. So, kill it, right? It's demotivating. Silence it. Sounds logical. It's the most logical mistake you'll ever make, because demotivating tells you how it feels, not whether it's true. A smoke alarm at 3 a.m. is also demotivating, but you don't rip it off the wall. You check for the fire. You rip it off the wall and you just sleep through the burn. Every self-help guru out there tells you the same fix. Let go. Meditate. It's your childhood, which is basically one instruction. Silence or lower the volume at least of that critical inner voice. That's the mistake. The voice was never the problem. You don't just have one voice up there. In my case, at least, distinctly, I have two. And you, perhaps like me, have been blaming the wrong one. One assesses. That was sloppy. You could do better. This is usually the critic, and this is usually right. The other one predicts. Don't try. You'll make a fool out of yourself. You will die. This is usually fear, and fear 100% always lies. Unfortunately, modern self-help rarely distinguishes between the two. And what effectively happens is you get handed a knife to gut it down, and you end up silencing the wrong one. You end up silencing the one that was telling you the truth, just because you didn't like what it said. A psychiatrist named Hallowell describes the ADHD brain as a Ferrari engine with bicycle brakes. That's a very apt analogy, and I'm stealing it because it is applicable to anyone who has a loud inner critic. Your critic is the engine. It's powerful, precise, engineered to win. Nobody rips a Ferrari engine out for a weaker one, but that's exactly what silence your critic is telling you to do. The engine is fine. It's your brakes which are the problem. Let's understand this better. Two people, they turned in some work. They both got the same feedback. It was the same true sentence for both of them, that wasn't your best work. How do you think they reacted? In our story, one floors it into the wall. I am worthless. I will always screw up. I am not going to make anything of my life. And this person entirely builds a prison for them out of just this one sentence, and quits essentially, because if you don't do any work, then how will the critic judge you, right? The other person simply, very calmly takes note and just try again. That's it. Same engine, same data, two different lives, just because the brakes were tuned very differently on both of those people. There's also a quieter crash. You don't punish the voice per se, you stop trusting it. It says you could be more, but you hand the wheel over to fear. You play small and you call it humble. I know that one from the inside. In school, the voice in my head used to say, don't get up on stage. Don't get up in front of a crowd of people. You do not have the confidence. You will die. You will fumble. You will piss your pants. Something will happen. You will be embarrassed to death. And I listened to it because it was the voice coming from inside my head. I thought it was caution, and I heeded it for years. I was so wrong. In college, I got handed a mic. Turned out, the quiet voice in my head that says, hey, you might be good at this, that was the voice that I was actually right. I emceed for years, almost 1,000 people in the room in the palm of my hand. And it was the most amazing time. Like, I discovered myself, the confidence that I discovered within myself. In fact, I wouldn't call it a mood. That confidence, what it felt like genuinely, was a root bursting through layer after layer of soil to finally meet water. And it was amazing. It redefined me, kind of. The funny part is, fear didn't cost me a bad outing on stage. I never had one. What it costed me was the years before I let myself find out. I didn't lose to failure. I lost to a prediction that never came true. One line I won't skip, and this is serious. Some of you are not struggling with an inner critic, you're struggling with a very harsh warden. Something that makes the inner voice in your head sound like, you're worthless and you should kill yourself or something like that. That is not the truth. That is an illness wearing a disguise of a voice in your head, and you don't face that alone. You talk about it out loud with a friend, with a professional. Know which voice you're fighting, because it changes everything. Your critic isn't your enemy. It is the only voice that tells you the truth when everybody else in the room just wants to be polite. Stop punishing yourself for what it says, and stop distrusting yourself when it says that you could be capable of more. It was never trying to derail you. Fear just kept wearing its clothes, maybe to keep you safe. But safe is not the same as alive, is it? So, last thing, here's what I want you to do tonight. Whenever that voice kicks in, when you're unable to sleep, I'm sure it will kick in. This time, I want you to listen to it and write down 2 lines. Pen and paper, old school method would be great. Line 1, you write down exactly what it said, exactly what you heard, exactly what the communication was. And then in the second line, you write down what you ended up feeling about it. The difference between those 2 lines, that's the only thing you have to measure tonight. And that's what we have to work on reducing. Drop those 2 lines below and let's see what comes up. I swear I read all of them. Your critic is not the problem. It never was. Go fix your brakes.